What's up, guys? Mindless again, back with another piece I'd like to share with you. This is a piece I've been literally chasing for about 9 months. So what we're looking at today is a one-off collaboration between Brad Blunt, JBBKnives, and Jeremy Horton, and his kind of world-famous grinding skills, that famous Horton grind, platinum grind. So this was a one-off piece. Let's take a quick look at it and I'll give you the whole story on it. This is a model called the Phase. It's one of Brad JBB's knives newest models. I'd say it's been out for a year and a half, 2 years, but rarely seen. There's not too many floating around. And you've seen it before when I got back from Blade Show last year. I grabbed this one, so I still have it. You can see a lot of carry marks. I carry this knife. It's one of my EDCs, and even though it's satin, a couple scrapes, on the tip, but even though it's satin, it hides things pretty well as long as you keep it clean. But one of my all-time favorite knives because the action, it just flicks so well, so smooth. It's broken in beautifully, perfectly centered, nice thick stock, beautiful knife. But let me get this off camera. In preparation for Blade Show 2015, so last June, when we were there, this was a silent bid auction for this piece. It is one of a kind, chisel ground. A little bit more about the knife before we go on. You're looking at a 3-inch cutting edge. Overall length is about 7.5 inches, and it's finished in a bronze color. I'm not sure if the blade is coming across. A lot of these pieces, these collaboration, these Brolaborations coming out of Tennessee, starting last year Blade Show, they made bronze blades, and it's done with a heat treat. I think it's like a secondary heat treat after grind, and it brings out this bronze color. You can kind of see it more if you compare. There you go. You can kind of see the colors in the light. It's very subtle, but it's definitely there. And to match that, they went ahead and acid stone washed the handles, and then anodized them this bronze with like a polished bronze edge. So it looks really, really nice. And then there you see the world famous or extremely famous grind that Jeremy Horton puts on a lot of knives for a lot of makers. And I think this one is an exceptional example of it. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. Absolutely mint. So back to Blade Show last year. I arrived on Friday, and everybody knew about this knife, but also at the same time, there were the Horton ground possums, and I wanted one of those. So I went after the open bid possum, and I didn't get it, but I ended up getting an arrestor and traded into the possum. And this piece was already handled, and a pretty well-known collector was able to snag it, and he had it in his collection for quite a while. And when he got it, actually, we all saw it, the knife was dropped on the tip of the blade, and it was damaged. So it went back to Tennessee. Both makers had to basically spa the knife. So it went back to Brad, and then it had to go to Jeremy to fix the issue on the tip. And you could see that like high polished platinum tip that Jeremy puts on all his knives, and it just looks gorgeous. But what we're holding here this is back from spa in absolutely mint condition. So perfect action. I love this thing, you guys. This to me, I know it's kind of plain, and I've been showing a lot of Timascus stuff, but this to me is, these two together. I love this model. I absolutely love this model, and to have this one ground by Jeremy Horton just makes it a keeper. It's great because I can actually carry this one and use this one and just keep this one in my collection. But if I was to get rid of all of them, this one would stay. I chose to kind of showcase it today because of its rarity. It is a one-of-a-kind Phase. The Phase alone is extremely difficult to find, and they're kind of pricey just for a plain stonewash one like this. You'll find one and the prices are double what the maker charges, or triple almost. This thing, since it was a silent bid, I know what the number was. It was a pretty high number, and to get it out of that collector that won the auction collection, another buddy of mine actually traded a Rexford for it, believe it or not. So that's the level that this piece is in, and it's kind of like a unicorn. It's a one-off. Everybody knows it exists, But it's just a gorgeous, rare piece. And it's going into the collection. I'm going to do another video. I might do it next weekend of all the bronze blades. So I kind of went into a collecting fit and was trying to collect all the different Horton ground pieces that have the bronze blades. So I have all of them pretty much. Recently he did a collaboration with Kendrick on a Ruiner with a bronze blade, but I haven't been able to get that one. But I know where it is, so I'm looking. But either way, the majority of the pieces that came out over the last 12 months of the bronze blade, I have a pretty good example of them. I think I did a video on the McGinnis Horton Shorty 45 with the bronze blade, the 2 FTRs. If you look back on my channel, you'll see a video on West Tennessee knife makers. You'll see a lot of the bronze blades in that video. At that time, I did not have this piece, so about a year later, it's now in my collection, and I could not be happier. Honestly, I am just over the moon, and I find myself going to this knife to play with it constantly. I I like flippers, there's no doubt, but I also like the action of flicking this thing. It is just perfect, simple, beautiful, and you get a chance to compare the two of them together. Two extremely rare knives. This one specifically is just extremely rare, and they're exactly the same. Handles are the same, blade shape is the same. The only difference is the finishing and the grind, and the grind is everything, guys. So that being said, I'm not talking smack on this thing. I absolutely love it, and the phase will always be in my collection, and I'm actually on the books with Brad to get another one, and I'm going to go dress on that version, hopefully with San Mai and stuff. So when that's ready, in a year or whenever, I'll definitely show you guys. But today, it's all about this guy right here. Chisel ground. Let's just look at it because it's that crazy. So for those who don't know, and I'm assuming a lot of you do, but the chisel ground and the grind that Jeremy Horton's so famous for is flat on one side, and it's ground to a platinum polished tip with like a swedge where you can see the grind marks. Just a beautiful, beautiful example. And I mean, guys, these chisel grinds are razor blade sharp. I love them. I don't think I'm ever going to need to sharpen this knife just because I don't use it. But this is one of those pieces that, to me, it was a struggle to get, and took a long time to finally get it going, and it ended up being a trade with cash to get into this thing. So could not be happier. There it is, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This model and the Arrestor are the two models that Brad is still currently making. But again, this is one of the rare ones where he sent it over to Jeremy for his grind, and it just turned out amazing, guys. This thing is friggin' dope. I can't get enough of it. Honestly, I just can't get enough of it. The action is so good. Flips so good. There it is. Perfect, small, little bit dressy, little bit of color, but it's all about that blade. You can see that gorgeous, gorgeous grind, and I mean, it's just, damn, right? Jesus, so sick. So sick, so well made. Perfect tolerances. The action's perfect. The detent's perfect. Just an all around good, unique, rare piece. I thought it would fit perfectly on the channel. So I want to take a second again to thank you guys for supporting the videos. All the kind comments. If you have any questions about this or any other pieces that I've shown, please don't hesitate to ask. I try to answer every comment. It might take a day or two because I do have a very busy life, but I will always try to answer any questions you may have that you post. If you dug the video, throw me a like. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please do. I try to do a video once a week, and I do my best to stick to that schedule. Guys, again, thanks so much. We're looking at one-off Blade 2015 silent bid. This is the JBB Jeremy Horton collaboration phase bronze phase, and just as a comparo, this is the JBB phase off of his workbench, and just great pieces. But guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.